We're gonna do eggs in a burger basket. We're gonna do bacon and eggs in a cup.
We're gonna do chicken tortillas.
We're gonna do a loaded scramble, eggs, beef sausage and bacon, and then a breakfast pizza. What is going on, everybody? I wanted to put together a quick video on 5 keto-friendly breakfast recipes that are really good for the carnivore diet as well. And I'm excited to kind of put this all together. I'm off to go see if we can grab the ingredients. These eggs are just awesome. They're just huge. Some organic applewood bacon chicken, organic free-range ground beef, 100% pasture. What is going on, everybody? So I am here with Eat Meat Queen, aka Yeka.
Yeah.
She's a certified carnivore diet coach. She is also an incredibly talented chef. She is basically the best cook in town when it comes to carnivore food. I don't know if there's any other carnivore cooks in this area.
I don't know of any.
She graciously is willing to give us some time to sort of learn how to cook some amazing recipes. So we're gonna go through a few of them, and I have a list here, but Yeka, what do you think makes sense for us as far as like the first one to go with?
So I think we should probably start with the egg in a burger basket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that because it has to bake and like all that?
Or? Yeah. Well, the burger takes a little time to cook because it's a little bigger than just a regular burger.
Cool. Well, we're gonna work through these ingredients that you all were kind of following along that I picked up. We'll give you a layout of all the dishes, all the cooking, and we'll go from there.
So I'm gonna start with the egg in a burger basket, and I'm gonna heat this up to a medium-high heat, and we are going to make a burger with the ground beef.
So for the first recipe, this is all we're gonna need.
Yep. All right, so I have about ½ a pound of ground beef here, and I am just going to kind of start shaping it into a donut. I try to make it as flat as possible. So you can just kind of shape it out into a circle and then press it down and just kind of keep doing that until it gets to a nice ring shape. And you want to make the center bigger than you would actually like because it's going to shrink up and get smaller. Just carefully pick it up and put it in your hot pan and just press it down a little bit. So I've actually turned it down to medium. A little medium high was a little too high, so I turned it down to medium.
You usually want it about medium?
About medium, yeah, because it's gonna, since it's a little thicker than a regular burger, it's gonna take a little bit longer to cook. So this will probably take about like 4 or 5 minutes to cook.
Okay.
So now that we've cooked the burger, I am just going to crack an egg in there. You want to let it cook for about 1 or 2 minutes before you crack the egg in there. Otherwise, your egg is going to be overcooked, and you're just going to have, unless you want the meat raw in the middle, then you know, if you want it cooked all the way, you just want to let it sit there for a minute or two. Here is our finished egg in a burger basket. We didn't flip it over, we just put the lid on it and let it finish cooking. And that's all you really need. You can add some hot sauce if you like, but it's just burgers, eggs, and salt, and you don't need anything else.
Pretty hot.
Mm-hmm. It was delicious. It was a little hot, but it was super tasty, and it's so simple, but just so flavorful when you're using good ingredients. Next recipe we'll do are going to be the bacon and egg cups. Those are really simple also.
Okay. What is this recipe?
The bacon and egg cups. And so I'm going to use just half of this bacon. And we're going to chop it up just in small pieces. And we are going to cook it in this heated pan.
So, what are you doing over there, Yeka?
So these are silicone cupcake liners. You can just use a regular cupcake pan with paper liners or just a greased cupcake pan or muffin pan if you want. I just like to use these because it's easier to clean up. These are oven safe up to 450 degrees and they're reusable, so you don't have to throw away the liners. It's a nice greener version.
Are you doing hardcore carnivore right now, or what are you?
No, I'm not. I tried to do the like 75 hard thing too, but I just fell off.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll just pull this off, let that cool for a minute. And I am going to whisk about 6 eggs. So it's to taste. If you like things a little bit salty, you can put a little bit more. I would say I put in about 1/4 teaspoon right now. Okay. There is some salt in the bacon, so just keep that in mind also. And you just want to whisk them. And if you do want to use cheese, you can add it into the egg mixture right now. Or you can sprinkle it on top at the end. It's just however you want it. So the cool thing about these silicone liners, you don't have to have a muffin pan, that they hold pretty well on their own. Nice. Whereas if you had a paper liners, they would just all open and make a big mess everywhere.
Nice. Do you want a spoon?
Yeah, let me get a spoon. Yeah. We'll just grab some of this bacon. Let's cool down bacon. And if you have a measuring cup with the spout, that will probably be easier than using a ladle. Oh yeah, these are loaded with bacon.
Just little scrambled bacon gifts.
Yeah. And so we have the oven preheat to 375. These won't take too long to cook either.
You see how orange and yellow these scrambled eggs are? It's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you do for omega 3? Do you do like ikora, fish, salmon roe?
Oh, yeah, we'll do salmon roe sometime. I'm still looking for like a cheap, good source of it. It's just so expensive.
It is, yeah.
We got our bacon and egg cups here, and like I said earlier, you can sprinkle some cheese on top if you want, but these don't really need it, and we're gonna put them in the oven at 375.
About mid-rack?
See you soon. Yeah, I'm about middle rack.
Cool. And how long do you bake those for?
So we're going to bake these for... We're gonna check them at 8 minutes. They might take a little bit longer, but we'll check on them. Everybody's oven is different, so your time may vary by a couple minutes.
Got it. So we're gonna do chicken tortillas, and for this recipe, we're gonna do 4 eggs, whole eggs, and we have some freshly boiled chicken breasts. For this recipe, Yucca has wisely educated me on how to approach it. We're going to take these 4 eggs, and we're going to crack them all whole into our blender, in this case a NutriBullet, but any blender will do. While that's happening, we have our pan preheating to about medium plus temperature. So we're gonna start. So we're gonna put the chicken in as well.
And you can use any cooked chicken. You can use rotisserie chicken, boiled chicken, baked chicken, whatever you got.
It's a lot of birds for us today. No salt?
No salt.
Okay.
You can if you want to, but just for a basic tortilla, it doesn't really need it.
Is that?
So this is about what you want for the consistency, just a little, kind of like slightly thin pancake batter.
And so that is 4 eggs and probably around 3 to 4 ounces of the cooked chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ghee, a lot of people can tolerate this better. We're gonna put this in. This is basically clarified butter. We're just gonna put enough to prevent the tortillas from sticking on the pan. Just let it kind of like...
Yeah, just cover the pan with it a little bit.
Turn it down a little bit.
You want it hot, but not screaming.
Okay. So then we're gonna pour 1/4 of the batter.
And then just swirl it around in the pan. Maybe a little more. You have to be kind of quick with it. Yeah, swirl it in a circle. There you go. So these are a little bit thicker tortillas than your traditional soft tortillas. But they hold really well, and they do fold up really nicely. That should be good. They're going to be a little bit thick.
Perfect.
I'm just going to go around the edges to unstick it a little bit, make sure everything is loose. And there you go.
It's like a perfect pancake.
Looks like a pancake, feels like a tortilla. And you don't need to cook it for too long on the other side. It's mostly cooked already. I would say just about 10 seconds on the other side. And so just to get it out, this is the easiest way. And you have a perfectly nice soft tortilla you can fill with whatever you want.
Wow.
And these freeze well, really, also they freeze really well, so you just put some parchment paper in between each sheet and stick them in the freezer, and you can have a huge stack of tortillas in your freezer.
Very cool.
This batch makes, I'd say, about 3 to 4 decently sized tortillas. I believe they are done. They might need just one more minute. Yeah, I think just one more minute. You can see that they're a little loose on the inside, but they are looking delicious. That should be plenty of time. And so whenever...
Do you think if you used a bigger pan like this, it might allow them to become even, I guess it would be bigger.
Yeah, you could make a bigger one
Yeah.
if you want. Yeah, you could definitely use a bigger
You don't
pan.
want them to go much thinner than that, though?
Yeah, you want them pretty decently thick.
Or they start just breaking apart?
Yeah, they'll just like shred apart and they
Okay.
won't hold anything.
Oh.
But the way that you know that they're done is kind of similar to a pancake. You know, you see the bubbles coming up, and then whenever you check underneath to make sure it's not stuck, you see that the edges are, not liquidy anymore. So you just carefully pick it up, flip it, and it looks like a pancake. Here we go. These are our egg and bacon cups.
I think we're okay.
And we're just gonna let them cool. They're a little puffed up right now, but once they cool, they're going to shrink down a lot. You'll see a big difference. So this is gonna be our loaded scramble. This is for hungry eaters. I got half a pack of bacon here. We have some ground beef. We're gonna mix it with some salt and sage to have some homemade sausage, beef sausage. If you guys don't like any pork sausage or any of the sausage you can get at the store, you can easily make your own sausage at home. And 4 eggs, and that's it.
How many people does this feed?
This feeds 1 hungry person. You can add more eggs if you want to make it for 2 people, but this is just one, really good hearty breakfast or brunch or lunch or dinner or whatever you want to eat for it.
Nice.
For some homemade sausage, this is half a pound. I'm gonna put half a teaspoon of just some organic ground sage in there. If you have the cut leaf or fresh, that's also okay.
How does sage do for you as far as being carnivore? Like, did you find that it's something people tend to react more towards?
I haven't heard anything of other people having sensitivities to it, but I definitely don't have any reactions to it. Sometimes I'll put in a little garlic. Also, I'm okay with garlic. I know there's a lot of carnivores though that are sensitive to garlic granules, especially. But you can keep this really simple with just sage and salt. The sage is really what makes it taste like
Sausage?
sausage, yeah. Sausage.
And this one we're cooking now is the hash?
This is a scramble, yeah.
Scramble.
So now we're just gonna cook our ground beef, aka sausage. So you get enough to eat in the morning. This one you can also add cheese to, but it doesn't need it. The meats are what make this a hearty meal. Yeah, I make this one at home with cheese for sure, just because it's a loaded scramble, and I like to really load it up. This is too big. Now we'll add in our bacon. And we're gonna turn this down to about a 4 out of 9. One of the secrets to making creamier eggs in the skillet is to have the heat low, and you just cook them on low and slow until they're just about firm. And you also want to keep stirring. And so you can easily make this meal for more people. Obviously there's a ton of meat in here, so you could add, I would say, up to another 4 eggs to feed 2 to 3 people. But as a carnivore, you want to make sure you get enough meat in, so that's why there's more meat than eggs in this breakfast. And you're actually going to want to pull it off a little earlier because it's going to continue cooking even on the plate. This as is, we're going to put some in a bowl here. And it's a great breakfast on its own. You can sprinkle a little cheese on top if you want. Or you can put it in one of your freshly made chicken tortillas and enjoy it for breakfast. You can make tons of tacos with this.
So, here's my carnivore keto taco right here. A little hot. The sage really makes it like sausage. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so good.
This tastes like a sausage.
So next we are going to make a breakfast pizza. We're going to do some of that homemade beef sausage that we made earlier, just mixing ground beef, sage, and salt. And we are going to make our crust with the beef. Then we're going to scramble some eggs and top the pizza with the scrambled eggs and cheese. So this one, since it's a pound of ground beef, we are going to put 1 teaspoon of sage in here and 1 teaspoon of salt. So you can use a baking pan or a cookie sheet, and you just want to press this out and make it as flat as possible. And you want it to be a little thinner than you actually want, because when it bakes it gets thicker. Edges evenly, just kind of press on the edges like this as you're flattening it down. And we are just going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. About middle range. We are going to whisk the eggs. I like to crack the yolks before whisking it to make less of a mess. Let's cook our scrambled eggs. Less dairy, soft scrambled eggs is a good option to substitute it with.
So we're just gonna slow cook these eggs like we did with the last batch for the scramble. And again, this is gonna go into the actual sausage pizza dough that we have baking, which is roughly 3.5 minutes away from being ready. All right, here we go. Let's pull this out. Ooh. All right. Got our pizza sausage dough. So now we're gonna put the eggs on top of the actual dough. We've got a little bit of cheese here. Keep in mind, if you have issues with cheese, you may not want to do this. But for those of you who can handle it, we will have some cheese here. Back in the oven for 5 minutes. There you have it. Timer just went off. And here is our Keto Carnivore pizza, if you will. All right, here's our pizza. I just put a little slice here of the pizza on the cutting board. I figured I would give it a shot and see how this tastes. It's pretty good. Very hearty. Obviously it's sausage heavy. It's got the sage mixed in with the ground beef. There's a little less of the sort of egg sauce, if you will, in this one. But overall, I like it. So there you have it. All 5 recipes, Carnivore Keto. These diet recipes are keto friendly, they're great for breakfast. They're gonna help you dial in. This whole experience, this whole process was a lot of fun, obviously. We got to make some really great recipes. We got to learn, we got to just kind of play around with different ideas, all that you're looking to do with basically what you wanna do to avoid the foods that aren't gonna be optimal for you. And they give you a lot of freedom to do all that stuff. With these ingredients, it's just you have so much you can work with, and it just makes it that much better to kind of be able to know that you're cooking and making these great recipes and that you know that they're healthy for you and that they're not going to be affecting you in a negative way. I've been eating these, they've been tempting me all day. Really great recipes, and I think that they're fantastic for anyone who wants to learn how to make just some great quick recipes. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let us know if if you've tried these recipes, if you have your own recipes. We'd love to hear that as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go check out Yucca's stuff. We put the description down in the link below with her contact information, all that. And if you're new to my channel and you want to learn more about the carnivore diet, link as well. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.